Jump aboard our time machine as we travel to the year 2000 for WWE Attitude Year Season 3.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, and C, and I'm joined by my own hot commodity, the Huffalump turned sound engineer, as he is helping us do the sound.
We are high tech here at Pro Wrestling Podcast.
I want to be like the SNL characters who are like, we make muffins. And they talk all very like soft and quiet. You ever see that skit with
No,
Molly Shannon? You've seen it before. They talk about like their buns and how you get like them toasted.
but I could make you sound like a girl.
Oh God, did you just do that?
No.
Oh, okay, that's great. We could add voices and stuff. Maybe when we cover a certain wrestler or something, we can do that. So you are checking out the Attitude Year Season 3. You're jumping in our really cool 2000s time machine as we cover all of the new millennium. And we have one more stop before we get to SummerSlam. And we're on SmackDown from August 24th, 2000, live in New Orleans, Louisiana. We just finished watching the episode, and let's dive right into it. Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley comes out. She says, all my life I've been a fighter. Everything I've accomplished, I've done on my own. I earned all that I have. I was robbed of my women's championship on Raw. Mick Foley was hired to be fair and just. What a joke. You have one simple assignment to choose a fair, just, and impartial referee, and you picked The Rock. If it wasn't for you, Rock, I would still be women's champion. I held the title for 4 months, and I carried it with dignity, honor, and pride. Your champion, your current champion, is a tattooed, low-class bimbo. Mick Foley, I don't want an apology or any sympathy. I demand a rematch. And instead of Mick Foley coming out, it's Kurt Angle who comes out. And Angle says, I want to say a couple of things. I am an Olympic gold medalist, and I cherish these medals as if they were my own children. And I know, Stephanie, you felt the same way about your women's championship. Shame on you, Mick Foley. I expect that from a low-class character like The Rock, but Mick, you know better than that. If Triple H wasn't insecure or paranoid or a better husband, he allowed me time to help train, and then before Angle can finish, Triple H comes out and pushes Kurt Angle, and then Commissioner Foley comes out and says, stop your bickering. Maybe The Rock was an impartial referee. I do want your respect, Stephanie. I found this referee shirt, and I found these, and he has some gold medals around his neck. Mick says, I know you're attracted to men with medals. I will grant a rematch. I'm going to book a mixed tag match, The Rock and Lita against Stephanie and your partner of either Triple H or Kurt Angle, but Stephanie, you will be the one choosing your partner. So Mick Foley continuing to fuck with Stephanie and this love triangle going on here with Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie. What do you think about Commissioner Foley making Stephanie choose between Kurt Angle and Triple H here?
I like it. I like how every week Mick Foley kind of like stirs the pot with him and Triple H, and he kind of does it in a funny way. Because usually it's like a mic drop moment. He's like, oh, and by the way, you get to pick which man you're going to choose. And then like walks off, and she's like stuck between her quote friend and her husband. I don't get it. He's
like, Stephanie, you're a slut. Now go deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But I don't get it. Like, Kurt and her have only been friends for like 2 months. Triple H is her fucking husband.
Well, you got to remember, from January, in the beginning of the year, she was all for Kurt Angle and protecting him and making sure his undefeated streak didn't dwindle away. So it had, there's been some
That's true. There
chemistry.
But still.
So Triple H talks to Stephanie backstage. She wants Kurt Angle there so they can strategize. And Stephanie says, wouldn't 2-on-1 against The Rock be better? We know you're going to win, but you should, you and Kurt Angle should just team up and fuck up The Rock, which is a good strategy to have. The Righteous Censor come out, and the Goodfather is taking on Rikishi. Before Rikishi fights the Goodfather, he's on the stage and he shows his ass because the Righteous Censor don't like that. But, Rikishi's got a big ass.
It is pretty big.
There's nothing to hate about it. He says he's going to do what every man in America wants to do and
Rikishi
save.
got back.
He got back. Rikishi wants to save the hose, and Victoria and I don't know what the other hose name is. They come out to be in Rikishi's corner.
It doesn't matter what her name
The
is.
two fight on the ramp, and then Too Cool come out, and they even the odds against the right two censor. Rikishi lands a Samoan drop and a bonsai drop, and Rikishi gets the win here. The right two censor. After Rikishi attacks Steven Richards, but the right two censor is able to save him. But with that 6-man tag match at SummerSlam, Richards will have to face off against Rikishi. So what were your thoughts on this here with Rikishi saving the hose?
So, does Rikishi have a SummerSlam match?
Yeah, it's him and Too Cool against Right to Censor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this was like, it was good build up to it. It got you excited for the match. And this is like the first time in a while that the Hoes have gotten involved besides like them holding signs outside. So, I'm pretty sure we'll probably see them at SummerSlam.
Save the Hose. Eddie Guerrero speaking to his mom, Lita, Chyna backstage, and he tells her, if you win the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, I'll be the happiest man in the world. And she tells him, well, I want you to win because I want you to have that Intercontinental title glory. I've already won it. And then we see Chyna and Eddie team up with Steve Blackman against TNA and the Intercontinental Champion Val Venis with Trish Stratus. Val accidentally hits Tess with nunchucks, allowing Steve Blackman to get the pin. And Blackman, Eddie, and Chyna win here. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited for the SummerSlam match for them. I think Chyna and Eddie should pin them together.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be like what, a threesome? Val Venis, Eddie, and Chyna. That'd be interesting. Or Trish. You never know. She's involved in the match too. It could be a foursome, a quadruple.
Thank you, Trish.
We see Tazz in the parking lot spray painting someone's car. Tazz says, hey, Lawler, does this car look familiar? It's your rental car. Everything's a joke to the funny man. And then we see Jim Ross is in the passenger side seat of the car. Tazz is telling Jim Ross to get out. Ross has the door locked. So Tazz takes a pipe and breaks the passenger glass window in the face of JR. JR is bleeding. He's all messed up. King goes to check on him, and Tazz beats the shit out of King backstage. And they're pretty much selling this like Jim Ross got really fucked up and is like badly injured.
Yeah. And when I watched it, I don't even know if he was really in the car. But
I don't know, man.
yeah, I think he leaned like way back. Like, I think he put the seat back
up.
But yeah.
We'll see King and Tazz fight at SummerSlam. Next up, Y2J, Chris Jericho comes out. Jericho says, Chris Benoit. He gives us a nursery rhyme. He says, I will fight Chris Benoit on a boat or Chris Benoit with a goat. While he's taking a quiz, or like the total jackass he is, and while he's saying this rhyme, there's pictures of Chris Benoit's face on like,
him in a little boat, his picture on a donkey. They're
jackass.
Really funny. It was really funny.
Benoit comes down and says, I prepared a picture myself, and it's a classic. I call it Y2J loses consciousness at the hands of the crossface. And that wasn't as funny as the pictures Jericho
and the
had.
Ayatollah told him so.
Wasn't that funny at all. But these two men will fight at SummerSlam in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And we'll see them in action later on. But I remember as a kid seeing this and really finding it funny. I was like 7 at the time. So to me, this is the funniest shit ever. But watching it now, it was still funny. But, you know, it was more comedic for a child, I guess. Very sophomoric. We see a handicap match. The Undertaker defeats DX next. X-Pac spits on the Undertaker's motorcycle before the bell.
I don't know why everybody likes to fuck his bike up.
They
dumb. Know they're going to get their ass.
They're going to get their ass whooped by the American Badass. Road Dogg walks out on X-Pac, allowing Undertaker to hit a chokeslam and a last ride. Undertaker will fight his brother Kane, and X-Pac will fight Road Dogg at SummerSlam. So,
they're fighting each other at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
When was that made?
Well, I don't know if it was made on Raw, but I just know it's taking place.
Okay. Yeah, because Road Dogg had said when they were walking out, I don't even want to think about SummerSlam. So I thought they had like a tag team match. I didn't realize they were fighting each other.
They're going to fight each other.
Yeah. Well, it'll be good because they're always fighting about who's better. So We're gonna
And
find out
Undertaker
who's
and
better.
Kane. Kane choke
We all know
slamming
Road
Undertaker
Dogg's better.
through the ring. You know, that's gonna be interesting to see the two brothers fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Stephanie tells Triple H backstage that she might.
I'm sorry. Is this their first big fight since when Kane first came on?
No, they fought through like 98, 99. They've always fought each other. This wasn't new.
I know they've always fought.
I have a feeling that it was supposed to be Big Show and Undertaker at SummerSlam, but then something happened with Big Show and then they just placed Kane in it because in the beginning, Big Show was the one who broke the cinder block over Undertaker's leg, and then he just got fucking.
Well, Big Show's isn't he out right now?
He's in I guess he was brought down to like OVW.
Yeah, I saw something about that the other day. They said they brought him down to because he was Vince said he was really overweight, and his in-ring wasn't great.
So that could have happened, but I guess they just put Kane in there. But Kane did fuck up Undertaker more than once. They put him through the fucking ring and then just destroyed him. Stephanie tells Triple H that she might go with Kurt Angle for her partner, and Triple H gets pissed. We then see European champion Perry Saturn with Terry defending against Al Snow. During the match, Al hits a moonsault, but Terry grabs a hold of head. Al tosses Terry to the floor, and Perry Saturn applies the Rings of Saturn. Al Snow taps out. Perry Saturn retains. Thanks to some help and distraction from the She-Devils Terry with her boobs. And Terry will fight the cat in a stink-faced thong match at SummerSlam.
And the King is very excited about this match.
I'm sure he is. We then have our 6-man tag match here. Chris Benoit and the WWF Tag Team Champions, Edge and Christian, taking on Chris Jericho and the Hardy Boys. All 6-men brawl. Jeff Hardy drop kicks a steel chair into Edge's face, and Chris Jericho hits Edge with a lion salt, and Y2J and the Hardys win. After the heels attack, Christian hits a ladder into Matt Hardy's face with a steel chair. And then the Dudleys run out and give a what's up to Christian. Matt Hardy jumps off the ladder onto Bubba and Jeff on the floor. And then Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit fight on the top turnbuckle, but both men fall off through a table. So we've got, like I said before, Benoit and Jericho in the 2 out of 3 falls match. And the TLC match for the tag titles, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys and the Dudleys. Thoughts on that?
I feel like the Hardys and the Dudleys are going to kind of team up and fuck up Edge and Christian in the beginning. Okay. But it's going to obviously have to be every man for themselves after a while. And the 2 out of 3 falls should be good too. I hope Jericho wins.
I know. I'm excited to see what's going to take place.
It's like you kind of know each one. If it's 2 out of 3 falls, you know that each one of them are going to get a fall.
Yeah, possibly. Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley flips her coin, and it ends up going with Kurt Angle, and Triple H leaves pissed. So we have the women's champion Lita and the WWF champion The Rock taking on the team of Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley and Kurt Angle. During the match, Rock lands a Samoan drop to Kurt and then applies a sharpshooter, but Stephanie slaps the shit out of The Rock. Rock then tosses Kurt Angle into Stephanie, who's on the apron, and Stephanie, from the impact, falls off the apron and lands face first onto the ring steps. So then Triple H and a bunch comes out and carries Stephanie to the back. EMTs check on Stephanie backstage, and Triple H says, I'm going to go and help Kurt. So Triple H and Kurt Angle team up against The Rock. And then at one point, they go to attack Lita, they being Angle and Triple H. The Hardy Boys come out and attack them. This match was already thrown out earlier on. So then Kurt Angle walks off. The Rock hits a rock bottom and a people's elbow. But the moment of the night, Kurt Angle checks on Stephanie backstage. And they make out. And at first, Stephanie looks like she's like, doesn't want it. But then she slowly touches his back, caresses it.
She wanted it.
And we have Triple H versus Kurt Angle and The Rock in the triple threat main event SummerSlam. Stephanie is definitely in this here. What are your thoughts on that kiss? And,
I just wish we could have got some reaction out of Triple H before the end of the night. Because I feel like at SummerSlam, they're going to come out and fight. Like, we're not going to get...
You'll see some backstage stuff.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Mick Foley does some funny shit that I'll tell you about.
I'm excited.
But we've covered all of SmackDown here, and it was I thought it was a better SmackDown. It got us ahead to SummerSlam, and it wasn't really boring. Like kind of just hit all the spots. But a new little thing that we're going to do here, since Ant hasn't seen any of these pay-per-views, he is going to give his predictions every month as we cover the different pay-per-views. This month we're at SummerSlam, so I'm going to go over the matches, and Ant is going to give his pick. So the first match that we're going to talk about is X-Pac versus Road Dogg. Two former DX members colliding. Who do you think is going to win this
one? I have to go with Road Dogg, because Road Dogg is one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers from the so. Okay. And he's bigger than X-Pac, and he's a little more dominant.
Okay. Next, the 6-man tag match, Right to Censor against Rikishi and Too Cool. What do you think of that one? Defending the hose.
I don't know. I'm a little mixed about this one, because I feel like they might have the feel good moment where the hose are free, but to further the right to censor, I feel like maybe they need to win it. So
Right to Censor.
Yeah.
Think? I love how you said the feel good moment of freeing the hose. Everybody would love to see the hose.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
Next, we have the special match here, Tazz versus Jerry the King Lawler. They've been going at it for the past couple of weeks. What do you think is going to happen here?
Tazz is going to
Tazz.
He can't lose Jerry Lawler.
Well, Jerry Lawler is the king of Memphis.
I know, and I love Jerry Lawler. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Next, we have the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Val Venis and Trish Stratus against Eddie Guerrero and Chyna. Whoever gets the pinfall in this match is the Intercontinental Champion. What do you think?
I'm going to say Eddie Guerrero. Okay. He hasn't held the title yet, right? Intercontinental.
No, he's been European.
Okay. Yeah. I know that Eddie works his way up to world champion, so I'm going to say that he gets it
here. Okay. How about the special stink face thong match, the Cat versus Terry Runnels here?
I'm going to go with Terry, because she's always underhanded, and she finds a way to win. Yeah.
Next up, Hardcore Champion Steve Blackman defending. Steve Blackman defending against Shane McMahon defending against Steve Blackman for the Hardcore title. What do you think?
I'm going to say Steve Blackman probably gets it back here.
Okay. All right. How about we have the 2 out of 3 falls match, Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. They've had a lot to say about each other.
I'm going to go with Jericho.
Y2J. Okay. All right. We have the tag team. Well, we'll talk about this match. Undertaker versus Kane. Brother versus brother. Kane chokeslam Taker through a ring. He has the advantage. Taker's the American badass. Kane's wait, ready? Which one is it? Is it? How do you do the? Which one is the?
For what?
I want to do the monster. I find it funny.
Female voice, male voice, lolly voice, monster.
We have silence.
Sorry, Rick.
For some reason out here is messing around with the sounds, and he was helping me here. Yeah, now it's not going back to normal.
Now I'm a monster. Oh gosh.
So Taker or Kane, the monster or the American badass?
I'm gonna go with the American badass.
The American badass. You think Taker's gonna beat his brother?
I think so.
Okay. How about the WWF Tag Team titles, the TLC match, tables, ladders, and chairs? Oh my. Edge and Christian defending against the Hardys and the Dudleys.
All 3 have been champions, right?
Yes.
I kind of am going with the Dudleys.
Okay. And then the main event, the triple threat match. The Rock defending the WWF title against Triple H and Kurt Angle. Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley is definitely involved in that mix, as there's that love triangle between Triple H and Kurt and Stephanie. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to go with Kurt, because I think that would cause the most problems in this whole situation.
Okay. Well, we've run down the SummerSlam card. We're going to watch the pay-per-view, and then we're going to recap SummerSlam, and we'll also cover the top 10 movies and music from August 2000. So make sure you subscribe. We have over 800 subscribers on YouTube, so be a new subscriber. Just subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Tell your mom,
your grandmother, your brother-in-law, your stepbrother, whoever you want to tell. Subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen at SummerSlam 2000 if you haven't seen it? And what do you think about that kiss between Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley? Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.